know, have no fear. Schooners finally here. You know it's Aja. Don't you fret, 'cause she's so young. Hey!
Hello! I started another project, and this isn't from a pattern. It is just from a picture that my cousin sent me, asked me if I could do this. And here is the picture. He sent it to me by email, and it had thicker lines, and I traced it on my tracing table and connected some of the lines. The hard thing about using a picture and not a pattern is, well, you just don't know how it's going to turn out. So here it is cut out. I'm looking at the chest, the eye, and these other little pokey things, and I thought, well, let's try to inlay those. I have cut the little red pieces out for the chest piece, and I tried some inlay, don't know how that's going to work, we'll find out. And I cut some new toenails so that it's a different color. Okay, we're continuing to work on the monster, which is a frog, I found out. It's the TCU horned frogs. I didn't know that. Oops. So working on the frog. And I'm going to look at making a TCU out of some purple heart to go along with it. I made this stomach and used some filler that I didn't really like that well. And so tried a different stomach. We have yet another cold day here in Louisiana. So I'm in the garage and I will see how long I can last. I made a new stomach for the frog and it is turning out pretty well. What I did here was I took some shavings from sanding, mixed it with some super glue, and then just put it in there and waited for it to dry. I like it. Okay, I found some purple heart and I cut that TCU out. And now I'm gonna look for something to mount everything on. I found a board that can be used for the background. It has this design on it, which is not the natural wood, it's just a design. There's the natural wood underneath. It's just a big piece, and so I need to trim it. I marked there and there. And so to use this table saw, I like my husband to do that. But I can use the bandsaw on it. So I'm gonna try that, see if that works. I'll let you know. Okay, well that worked. I can get it squared up. My husband can square it up with the table saw, and I can use the planer to get that nice and smooth, all that roughness away. So I think I'll do that next. Okay, I have the planer set up, and it's very noisy, but I'm gonna keep it going. I've gotta get the right size figured out first. Okay, that feels good. So here we go, lots of noise. That was a pain in the butt, but it worked finally. So let's keep going. piece of wood is all planed, I'm going to sand it. In the picture it shows this by the eye and some other markings. So I made a scroll saw line on the eye here, there, and I'm going to sand it. I ripped my sandpaper a little bit so I could get it in there, so I can sand that small piece right there. I also have my wood burner out, heating up, so that I can add the little freckle marks or whatever they are on a horned frog, and I'm gonna do that. And then in the eye also, it had a little spot. I'm gonna do that too with the wood burner. So we're waiting for that to warm up. Okay, the wood burner is ready to go, and then I'm gonna go ahead and burn those freckly things, which is always scary. Okay, I think we did that all right. And now to burn the eye thing. It isn't totally round. Another thing with this horned frog is the horns, or the spikes, I think what they are. And I'm going to add, like I did on the top here with the line, I am going to go back in and add some lines to make it look like he has some more spikes. And same with some of the body. What I did was I drilled some little tiny holes in there, and I'm going to go over to the scroll saw and scroll those. Let's do that now. A real nifty feature with the scroll saw is the ability to lift it up like that out of the blade. I'm going to take the body, and where I drilled the hole all the way through, I will just thread that blade in there. Make sure it's going the right direction. And then I put this down, and then I can tighten that. And that makes the blade ready. Then we just go. Okay, we have all that done. Back over at the work table. I'm gonna try to do some sanding on those, make those look nice. See if I can soften some of those edges on that. I have these files, different than my diamond files. I'm going to use that on the doohickey bobs we made. The horns or whatever they are. I have these carvers too I'm going to use. The very best thing for sanding those, I'm figuring, is just folding my sandpaper up into a little tiny thing to fit in there. And then putting it in and rubbing it back and forth, which seems to work the best. Sandpaper can't beat it. I moved on over here to my spindle sander, and I'm going to make the toenails into more of a toenail-y shape. Again, it's a little bit on the noisy side, but I'm going to keep it going so you can see how that works. It's the spindle sander. Okay, here we are. Make it a little more toenail-y shaped, like a claw. Let's see how it looks on the project. It's going to be sitting just like that. I think that sticks up more like a claw. I think I like it. Let's do the other ones. I finished those toenails with the spindle sander, and now I'm going to do some hand sanding just to make sure that we've got the shape that we want. And hand sanding. Okay, another thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to do some triple E polish on the toenails and the eye and the teeth. So let's do that now. Okay, I have all of those items I wanted to polish with the triple E all polished up. Hello, Sai here again. I brought the project in since it's colder again today, and we are going to glue the frog onto its final background. And so I'm going to transfer the frog over to that final background, and then we'll start gluing. Discovered that the background is the same color as the frog, which is a no-go. I don't want to use the piece of wood that's contrasted with this thinner piece because it's a junky piece of wood. It's all warped and stuff. So I have to find a new background piece. Let me go look. I found another piece. It's a piece of board that is stained. There it is. I think that's going to work awesomely. So I'm going to start gluing. Okay, the frog is all glued up. Have some little pieces of wood holding the toenails in place while they dry. And then we'll be putting the spray finish on. Sprayed the first coat of finish on the frog and brought it into the house because it's too cold in the garage. It's another cold day in Louisiana, but it was 33 yesterday. It's above 33 already today, like 36, and it's supposed to be 60 later this afternoon. So yay! But in the meantime, I'm gonna come out into the garage, shop, swamp, and make another spray on the frog. Then I'm gonna take it in, since it's too cold out here, to leave out. Okay, I'm going to take that in, and I'm probably going to sand it down a little bit and do one more coat. I think we're done with the TCU Horned Frog project. Bye.
Let's see, and sit right back and try this. For me, just a tad bit excited. For what we get to see today, 'cause I say you just can't wait. She's a dentist, a marshal, to what she's sort of partial. We didn't know it, so score now. Welcome to South Carolina.
Hey, cuz. I started working on your monster. I think I got some ideas brewing with it. Smiley face. Send. Haha, you know that's the TCU horned frog symbol, right? Oh, I didn't know that. Makes sense. Smiley face. Send. I think we're done with the TCU horned frog